Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm very happy to be here with you. Can you hear me well? Amazing. So my name is Modja, and I am a CEO and co-founder in Code Green, and I'm also head of philanthropy for World of Women. And actually, I will stand up. So. Okay, so we'll wait. Should we wait, John? Let me see with the organization. Can I start? Okay. So my name is Modja, and as I was saying, I'm a co-founder and CEO of a structure called Code Green, and head of philanthropy for a project that some of you may know called World of Women. And before I tell you today about how NFTs, in my opinion, can be used for social empowerment, I would like to give you a little bit the story of my background. Well, my story. I am an artist and an activist for gender, social, and climate justice. And actually, I was born and raised in Mali, and that has a lot to do with what I am doing today. When I was 4 years old, I went through something that not a lot of people know about, that is called female genital mutilations. Despite the fact that both my parents are feminists, once they were at work, my grandmother's sister took me, and they practiced female genital mutilation on me. And that event is one of the reasons why I'm here. Because at 19, when I realized how that would impact my life as a woman and what that meant, I decided to become an activist for women and girls, to fight for their rights, to fight against abuse and any form of abuse. So at 19, I decided that feminism meant something, because I was carrying the scar of what it means to not be equal, to be seen as inferior, to be seen as somebody who doesn't have a voice, who society, traditions can decide that because I was born a woman, to take away a symbol of my femininity. And so I started like that, and a few years later, with a friend who's a doctor, she called me once and she told me about this incredible project that she wanted to do. She wanted to open a space called La Maison des Femmes, in French. It means in English, House of Women. And it's a place where she wanted to welcome women who were victims of abuse, any kind of abuse, women who are refugees, women who are in distress, and help them with doctors, psychologists. We even have yoga instructors. We have people who come and help them and build them up from the ground and build up their self-esteem. And so she and I, the both of us, we were looking one day at a parking that the hospital where she was working gave us. They said, okay, this parking, you can have it. We don't have the funds, but the parking is yours. Find the money, build the house, and that's what we did. So it took us a few years to raise the funds, and we opened the first Maison des Femmes. And now, today, we opened it in 2016. And today, there are 22 Maison des Femmes in project. Some have opened, and some have yet to open, but have the fundings to do so. And that's partly because we had an idea, we had a vision. Well, she had a vision, and I was just following her and trying to use my voice as an artist and also as an activist to help bring people who could believe in our project. And we, over the course of the years, we had many people join us, and that's why the Maison des Femmes is now so relevant. And a few years later, I became a climate activist because of, once again, my own story. I come from Mali. And if any of you have heard of Mali, it's in West Africa, and half of the country is desert. It's part of the Sahel. And seeing the causes and the negative impact of climate change on where I come from, I decided that I wanted to do something. I mean, as a musician, I could use my music, I could use the storytelling to have people be aware of what is happening, what was really the impact of climate change, because we've heard all this, we have no planet B, etc. But the reality is that in some places, people suffer more from the impact of climate change than others. And I have to be honest here, they are not the most who actually contribute to that changing climate. And so I started working on a project. Okay, that seems like a lot of fun there. So, can you still hear me? This makes me want to move my body a little bit, but I'll try to focus. So, as a climate activist, I started working with the UN on a project called the Great Green Wall. And it was a project that was completely under the radar. Not a lot of people have heard about it. Actually, when I would talk to maybe 10 people, maybe one would have heard about it. And the aim of the project was to restore 100 million hectares of degraded lands from Senegal to Djibouti, and that is all across the width of Africa. So it's 8,000 kilometers of green that we were trying to build and we were trying to create. And it's a wall, we call it the Great Green Wall, but it's actually a wall that unites people because it's a Pan-African project. It started with 11 countries in Africa coming together to find solutions to help with the growing desert and help with also the issues that are tied to the region, like forced migration. When we see people that we called migrants, I'm sure a lot of you have heard in the news about migrants, but actually they are climate refugees because what they are fleeing is the lack of opportunity and places where the temperatures rises so high that it's impossible to be living there. And lack of education, food scarcity, conflicts, and terrorism in the region. So this project, we went from working with a passionate group of people, we decided to create a project, a documentary that was produced by a very famous director that I love his films. His name is Fernando Meirelles, and he did a film called City of God, and Constant Gardener and the Two Popes. And so Fernando, who actually plants 10,000 trees every year in Brazil, came on board on the project because we believe that art, we can harness the power of creativity and bring awareness and raise funds. So that's what we did. We started with a musical documentary that ties music, it's a musical journey, but tells the story of people who are living all along this Great Green Wall, these communities. We wanted to hear their stories. We wanted to create a platform for them to share about their day-to-day lives so people, by seeing what they are going through, could relate or could understand what is happening. And so with the Great Green Wall, actually, the film, we had a lot of awards, we won a lot of prizes, and we use it for our advocacy. And working with the UN, I became a UN ambassador for the project, and it went from a fairly unknown project to 5 years later, we raised 20 billion pledge to make the project achievable. And so all of that to say that the power of creativity, because it all started with the film, and the advocacy was made by the film. I mean, as an artist in 2020, I was invited to be part of the Security Council of the UN. To me, in the beginning, it didn't make sense because I was like, I'm an artist, why does my presence at the Security Council of the UN make sense? But I realized that talking about the stories of the people that I've been working with, supporting and seeing, all this community that I've been traveling to for the past 5, 6 years mattered. And when I started with my Web3 journey, I thought to myself, okay, if we manage with one documentary to bring awareness and from an unknown project becoming a global movement, what does that mean for Web3? It's super exciting because what is interesting in the Web3 space is that there are communities and there is power in alliance. And the communities are really the heart of the Web3. And you have all the technical side, you have all the values, the ideas, etc. But it's people who are making projects. They make or they break projects. And so entering the space, as an artist, I didn't share my art. I wanted to build because I'm a builder, and that's what I've been doing as an activist. And so I started building Code Green. And our idea is really to help create a bridge between the NFT space, the NFT communities, to real world communities who are living either on the front line of climate change or who are living in a social position that doesn't help them, that doesn't allow them to thrive. And I've seen so many surviving people that I thought, okay, maybe as communities in our space, we are about giving, we are about supporting, we are about values, and we can see that in many women-led projects. We can really support these real-life communities by funding them, by bringing awareness, by, and that's where I started to work with World of Women as head of philanthropy and for the sustainability. And what we do at World of Women is that we defend inclusivity, diversity, and really help bring voiceless people to the front stage. And so by supporting women artists and women in general, onboarding new women onto the Web3 space. And so my job at World of Women is to, we have a consortium of organizations that has been vetted by Code Green. We support them. And through our last collection that launched last week, Galaxy of Women, I don't know if any of you are part of the World of Women community. I know you are. And so thanks to you supporting the project and buying the NFTs, part of the sale of that is going to, 10% is going to the foundation, and the foundation is giving 5% of that money to Code Green to help support organization all year long. So we created a plan, a 12-month plan, where we are going to support a lot of organizations, but not just one-time donation. We're going to be partnering with them all year long to support their needs, financial need, but also awareness, because awareness is so important. And knowing about a project, it's the beginning of you supporting them. And so that's with the primary sale. And with the secondary sale, we will use those funds for emergencies and different organizations that we come across during the year. And so that is NFTs having an impact, a positive impact on real life people. And also another thing that we do as Code Green is the sustainability, because as a climate activist for 10 years now, I've been having this question from people who don't know much about NFTs, but already have the idea that NFTs are here to kill the planet. NFTs are here to ruin the planet. And I have to say that there is energy consumption, but in the reality, there is so much misinformation that actually we partnered with the World Economic Forum to do an auction for Davos in January. And we counted that our NFT drop was 10 times less energy consuming than if we had to physically go there with our artwork, etc. And that makes, actually that is the answer that I give to a lot of people. We still take planes. We are not living a completely sustainable journey. We are it's a work in progress. We are on a path to more sustainability. But what we created now is tools for more sustainability in the space. We want to empower the space to become more sustainable and not bully them into sustainability, because that doesn't work. I mean, the other industries have practiced without thinking about sustainability for hundreds of years. That's the reason why we are here now. And I won't say that the NFT industry, the blockchain, it's fairly a young industry, and we are just starting. So how are we the ones who are ruining the planet when the planet is already in code red? So I think that there is some things to do, but at the same time, it is such a groundbreaking space. It's going to change so many things. I think we are just in the beginning of that, and the utilities that NFTs can have are tremendous. And so that's what we are doing. We are exploring different ways, but the main thing of what we're doing is having an impact on people. And so I was talking, I completely forgot to use my slides, so I'm not sure that, Okay, so we created these GIFs just for you, so I'll just go through it. I've said, okay. So, and there you are. You have all the GIFs. So these are the different solutions and the different themes. We have 100 consortium of organizations all around the world on these different topics. And we support artists, projects, platforms to really connect with them. And the idea is really to create an impact. And I personally don't believe in greenwashing. I don't do greenwashing. I believe that even the offsetting programs that we can use in the space has to be beneficial for people. It has to invest back in people and climate and social solutions on the ground. So that is one of the reasons why I am so careful with the platform that we partner with to do that. So that is what we have been doing with Code Green and Women, World of Women. And I hope that in the next months we will be able to provide some tools for individuals who want to be part of the journey, who wants to make a positive impact, and it's going to be free tools for you to use, and that's going to be our contribution to the space for now. And we are growing projects, and I'm sure that in 6 months what we will have to say will be completely different, because it's always evolving, but I'm sure that it will be even more exciting. So thank you so much for listening to me today, and I hope that I will have the pleasure to connect with, if any of you want to embark in this sustainability or want to have any advice on charities, etc., just let me know. Write me an email. I'm ina@worldofwomen.art and or ina@codegreen.earth, and I'll be here to support you and to help you in any way I can with our teams. Thank you.